that would be kind of entertaining for me to do.
To Phoenix, Arizona. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, this is Ellis Leibowitz in Phoenix, Arizona. How you doing?
How you doing, Lieb? How you doing?
Ellis Leibowitz. Do you know this man, Don?
No, but it sounds like we want to get in touch with each other.
Don, big question. With all the experiences you've had in your private shows, have you ever had one where you felt you went a little too far and had some reverberations, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What kind of ramifications of it?
No,
I'm listening to your answer.
To be very
I hope so, Mr. Leibowitz. That's why I asked the question.
It would be murder if you hung up and let me talk to a wall.
I won't hang up.
Mr. Leibowitz gives $300 anonymous and will listen to my response. Thank you, Mr. Leibowitz. We'll now go on with the Talmud Torah prayers and continue on with the services. I want to say, if Larry will shut up and let me answer this man. To be very honest, Mr. Leibowitz, it's starting to sound like a Jewish judge. I sentence you to 35 years in prison. No, I want to say, Mr. Leibowitz, I really have never on the stage, anything I've ever done, I've never taken back, in the sense that when I stand out there, you have to believe in what you do. If for one moment you say, oh, I shouldn't have said that, you're a fool. As an entertainer, this is in my own opinion and what I do. When I'm out there, I'm doing my best to make people laugh, and I'm doing with all earnesty. I'm not out there to hurt somebody. If it comes off that way, I'm sorry in my heart, but I never take it back. In other words, I perform with my soul and with my honesty, and I think that's what makes me go. Amen.
Beautiful, Don. That was a beautiful, beautiful.
Thanks, Larry. I hope I touched you.
There's a lot of tenderness in you that people don't get to see. You're basically a bear, aren't you? I mean,
kidding? You should have heard the wife on the wedding night. Growled all night long. Just laid there growling. I had to set traps for her. It was murder. Larry, there's a hospital in Washington that takes care of that special kind of cough. You understand, Larry? You know where that's from, Larry? You don't wear a coat. You go out in the so you're starting to spit up. That's Florida. That's all the asthma from Florida and all that poison that you had in you in Florida. It's all coming out now. It's like those guys in the cafeteria, you know, on the Farina. Oh, God, I'm having such a good time talking to myself. It's great. I'm in a room with an earphone looking at a wall, and I'm laughing. This is the way you wind up in a sanitarium. What a cheap show. They can't even get the host to show up. Hey, why do the show? Let's just sit here and laugh. Here we are at Disneyland. Come into my mouth and you're in the fun house.
Don, will you stay an extra 5 minutes and then we'll talk?
Oh, sure, if you beg.
Don Rickles, our guest. In a couple of minutes, we're going to meet.
Shut up, Larry. Get on with it. What an idiot host. I just ended a career.
We'll be back with Don Rickles right after these words.
Woo.
It's a pleasure to have with us tonight his first and only ever interview, Admiral General Aladdin, the supreme leader and beloved oppressor of Wadiya. Do you have favorite leaders, favorite other oppressors?
There are very few of the great dictators left. All the best ones are now gone. Saddam, Gaddafi, Kim Jong, Cheney. My favorite, unfortunately, is dead.
Who?
You know, I miss Kim Jong, KJ. I miss him a lot. You know, he was a fun man. He died as he lived, in 3-inch heels.
But he was ruthless to his people.
No, he's not ruthless to his people. He was a sweetie pie.
By the way, was there any fallout following the Ryan Seacrest interview when you walked down and you attended the Oscars for some reason?
You know, Seacrest dealt with it very professionally. After all, it's not the first Asian guy to end up all over his chest.
Have you ever failed at anything?
Well, if you look up Israel on Wikipedia, everything is still in the present tense. So that's clearly something that I need to work on.
I'm Jewish.
You are Jewish?
Yes.
You are Jewish?
Yes.
Fine, no problem.
Because I am Jewish, you would take offense, you would spit in my
No,
studio?
it has nothing to do with that. I just spat on the floor.
I see. So it had nothing to do
I
with
don't
it.
like the floor.
All right, let's get right to it. Do you have nuclear weapons?
What was the question?
Do you have nuclear weapons?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Are you developing nuclear weapons?
No, I literally can't hear you.
I'm going to another question.
Oh, I can hear you now.
You made some astonishing claims over the years that you invented the Pentium processor, that you're next in line to play James Bond,
James Bond, yes.
and that you coined the phrase take a chill pill.
Take a chill pill.
What does that mean?
It means relax, if things are getting heated, take a chill pill.
President Obama has said that you've lost the legitimacy to rule, you should step down.
I say, him. It is hurtful that he is saying that. It was my father, after all, that helped smuggle him from Kenya as a child.
Wait a minute, are you saying he was not born in the United States?
Of course not. This interview is over. Sacramento. Bring me Piers Morgan.
Lasted how long?
9 years, 180 episodes.
You gave it up, right?
I did. So.
They didn't cancel you. You canceled them.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm asking you.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
I thought that was pretty well documented.
Is
this still CNN?
Don't most shows go down a little?
Most people do also. But, yeah, no, I went off the air. I was the #1 show on television, Larry. Do you know who I am?
Jewish guy, Brooklyn.
Yes.
Okay.
75 million viewers last episode.
Boy, you don't take it so bad.
Well, that's the big difference between being canceled and being #1.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll be right back.
Jeez.
B-movie opens. B-movie opens.
Can we get a resume in here for me?
B-movie opens
Larry
tomorrow.
Can go over?
Hey, we'll be right back.
The wife is here. That's my wife. Smile, Sean. Oh. Oh. Sean, did you see Sharon?
Let's go again. Ian, you set?
We're going to take pictures right after, Sean.
Yes.
You take a picture with her? You're out. Okay, here we go.
I would like to see you closely. looks much younger.
She's much younger, yes.
Oh, looks like your daughter. Sorry.
Thanks, Dolly.
Hannibal Lecter, Nixon. There have been several, and some I would rather forget. But you get a couple out of a dozen, which may work, and some don't. But I think Lecter was one of my favourites because it was so easy.
Easy?
Yeah, dead easy. Well, it's a trick,
What do you mean?
Well, the first 15 or 20 minutes is built up describing this monster, and to Jodie Foster, and then she goes to the prison, and the governor of the prison she said, what's he like? Oh, he's a monster. So they go down. So it's all built up. There's this monster in a cell, in a cage somewhere. The thing is to do the opposite. Play not a monster. Just play someone who's, good morning. You're not real FBI, are you?
Clarice.
Clarice.
How did you find that voice, though?
I don't know.
What's something people don't know about you?
Oh, well, I can say that I'm always very insecure, as we all are. Oh, yeah, I do. People are surprised when they see me, young actors. They say, you're insecure? I say, yeah, you bet you. Your ass I am. I say, how can you be insecure? I said, well, that's being human. That's being alive. That's
Henry Fonda said, I always feel nervous when I don't have a script.
Yeah, because you always want to be in work.
Yeah. The leading lady you most enjoyed working with?
Oh, God, I can't remember. We put it... Jodie Foster.
If you were an actor, what do you think you'd have done?
Drunk myself to death, probably. Ended up in the gutter.
Do you have a favorite curse word? Okay. Something
Or my favorite gesture?
What is something Americans get wrong about the UK?
I think they think we are very ever so gentle and mild and moderate. We're not. We are monsters. The British Empire was run on monstrous energy and rage.
And they were tough when
Tough
they
people.
ran a country. They were
very tough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What does the UK get wrong about America?
Oh, the feeling that America's brash and it's noisy and this, that, and the other. Well, it is all those things, but that's what makes America what it is. And I think we countries, we nations, whether it's America or Britain, we get it wrong about so many other nations. Everyone says Russia, the bad. You know, we get it all so wrong.
They're people.
They're people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actor or actress you'd like to work with that you haven't?
Love to work with De Niro. Yeah, I'd like to work with him.
Any upcoming actor or actress that impresses you?
Oh God, do you know I don't watch much film. I'm ashamed to say it now. I don't have time.
I'm told you also don't have actors as friends.
That's right.
Why?
Well, the actors, they're okay. I love working with them, but I'm a recluse. I don't have any friends really. All my friends are my wife's friends. All these Spanish women. I get more from them than anything else. I'm not an unfriendly person. I enjoy people, but I'm not a great mixer. I love being on my own. I love being a recluse. I'm not a recluse, but I love being on my own.
You don't have great buddies?
No, never have.
Don't go on fishing trips with the guys?
No, no.
What's the best thing about living in L.A.?
The sunshine, Nathan Owls. I love to travel. I love to drive around. I love everything about it.
What don't you like?
I love everything.
What's your most cherished memory?
Coming here in 1973, I was working on a film with Goldie Hawn, and I was taken on the first Sunday to the Bel Air Hotel. I'd never been there before. I thought I was in Paris, and I thought I've got to stay. I've got to live here in this country, in LA. And those are my favourite memories. And the 70s, they were great. Things were a little more peaceful here then, and everything about it, everything. It was like being in Playland. It was like being in a big beach party.
Were you an overnight hit?
No, it took me years. Silence of the Lambs was the first time it really changed things. But then, you know, you got the Oscar and all that, but you wake up next morning, it's the same old fundamental stuff.
Did you have to audition for Silence?
No, Jonathan Demme phoned my agent and asked me if I would be interested in playing the part. I was in London at the time, and I thought it was a children's story, The Silence of the Lambs. So I said to my agent, they sent me the script. He said, what do you think? I said, well, I don't want to read all of it. And is it a deal? He said, well, not yet. I said, I'm not going to read anymore because I've read this part as the great part. So he phoned me back. He said, it is a deal. Jonathan Demme's flying into London tomorrow to see you. We met. And I said, why did you cast me? He said, because I saw you in The Elephant Man playing Dr. Treves. I said, but he was such a good man. He said, there's something in Lecter that is good, but basically mad.
What was your funniest fan encounter?
A woman at the airport who had seen James Brown get on up and wanted to challenge me to a dance off.
Was that also the strangest?
No, I've had some really, really strange ones though.
Like?
Strange ones like you know, people showing up at places there's no way they can know my activities, but continuously showing up, like stalkers essentially. Those are the most strange encounters.
Who was your childhood celebrity crush?
Childhood celebrity.
Did you have a childhood celebrity?
I don't know who that would be actually.
Okay. Yeah. What's the best piece of advice you ever got?
Learn when to say no. Learn when to say no.
What's the worst piece of advice you ever got?
YOLO, you only live once.
Best compliment you ever got?
The best compliment I've ever gotten is that I usually listen to criticism. Yeah.
You take direction well.
Take direction, yeah.
What's the biggest perk of being a celebrity?
Free stuff.
Someone else from yesteryear you'd like to portray?
Nobody.
Done with,
I should be done with it. Yeah, I should be done with it.
You know, it's never been done on film. Cyrus Attucks, the first guy killed in the revolution. Crispus Attucks was black.
Yeah.
Never been a movie about him.
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure.
Baklava. You know
I know
the dessert. Baklava is one of them.
What's a luxury you can't live without?
A luxury I can't live without. Jesus. Well, I feel like our our internet obsession is sort of a luxury. Nobody can live without that. Nobody can live without that.
Nobody can live without that.
Yeah. So.
Is there an upcoming movie you're excited to see?
I'm excited to see Pacific Rim, actually.
Who?
Pacific Rim. Yeah, I'm excited to see John Boyega a little bit. Yeah. He's my fellow actor. I want to see what he's gonna do. Excited for him.
Well, this is a weird one. I've never said. Longest period of time you've been awake?
3 days. Probably 3 days.
Really?
Yeah, probably 3 days.
Superpower you wish you had in real life?
I wish I could freeze time.
Freeze time?
Freeze time.
Stop
time and then move around and do stuff and then come back and, yeah.
Wow. You're stranded on a desert island. What 3 things do you bring with you?
You gotta bring you have to have a lighter. So you have to have some cutting. It's like a knife or of some sort. Hopefully I have some kind of radio so I can get off of it.
That's a good how to get off that.
Yeah.
Is there something you long believed to be true and found out wasn't?
I don't know about that.
Okay. And Chadwick Boseman in 10 years?
Hopefully I'm just happy. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I've, done everything with my family that makes them happy and hopefully that they're the life. It's not about career. It's about life experiences that you've done the things that you want to do. I don't have like wife and kids, but I have a huge family, cousins and my brothers and.
They're all close.
All close.
Crush.
Oh man, I was in love with Vanity. She was a Prince artist, Vanity 6.
Secret talent.
I mean, all my talents are out there in the open. I guess.
You don't have.
I guess I'm a great lover.
That's no longer person you trade places with for one day.
Oh man, LeBron James right now.
Weirdest job you've ever had?
Oh, I used to park cars, man. Used to wear polyester slacks downtown on Sunset. Yeah.
Guilty pleasure?
Licorice. I love. I eat
black.
Licorice. I like red licorice.
I like black.
Oh man, I love the red.
Rapper you'd most like to collaborate with?
Oh man, rapper I most likely. Chuck D. He's still my favorite rapper.
Musician who isn't a rapper that you'd like to collaborate with?
Oh my God, dead or alive?
Yeah, okay.
Oh man, Michael Jackson.
Who never fails to make you laugh?
Never fails to make me laugh. Oh man, I gotta say Eddie Murphy. He never fails.
What superpower would you like to have?
I like to fly.
Best piece of advice you ever got?
Mind your own business, you'll live longer.
What's the worst piece of advice you ever got?
What you doing this hip-hop stuff for, man?
Something you wish you were better at?
I wish I was better at, like, handyman stuff,
You know, I can't do anything.
Yeah, man, I started rapping when I was 15.
You hang a painting?
Yeah, I could. I'm not that bad. But, I like to be able to, tear down a wall and build a room and all that kind of stuff. I like to really be able to do that man's man stuff.
Biggest perk of being a celebrity?
I guess being recognized. That's his biggest part.
Strangest fan encounter?
Oh, man. I had a stalker fan who tattooed my real name on her forehead.
What's your real name?
O'Shea.
And she stalked you?
Yeah.
She wanted romance with you?
I don't know what she wanted, Larry. I don't know what she wanted. Don't know what she wanted.
How did she confront you?
Well, you know, we just seen her in a few strange places, showed up at the manager's office, stuff like this, and yeah, had my name on her forehead when we went to court.
What did she say to you?
Nothing. Nothing. I don't want to bring this up, Larry.
Okay.
She might be out there.
Who?
Yeah.
Something you long believed to be true but realized isn't.
Man. Oh my God, that is...
Hard question.
That is a hard question. That I live forever.
Yeah, that's not true.
It's not.
Mm-hmm. Tell me something we don't know about you.
Something that we don't know about me. I like all kinds of music, you know. I like you know, classical music. Yeah, I love Sinatra. You know, he's great. I love all kind of music. People.
You think Sinatra could have rapped?
Yep.
You do?
Yeah, I do, because I just, you know, he has the timing.
That's it, isn't it?
He has the rhythm.
I'm happy when I'm in balance. It's normally when I'm in my garden or with my dog or with my family, with just a few people. Happiness comes at you like a scent, unexpected. I remember landing after a long time in America in my garden about 6 o'clock in the morning. I caught an early flight which landed very early. And the house wasn't awake yet, and I knew my family were in the house, and I was wandering through the garden, and the dew was still out on the roses and on the grass, and the smells were wonderful as the sun began to creep through the garden, and I thought, it doesn't get better than this.
Guilty pleasure?
Oh, my smoking, I suppose.
Last great book you read?
I'm so bad at remembering names of books. I'm really great.
You don't have to remember.
No, I forgot.
It's not a quiz.
It's not, that's right.
Place
no prize at the end of this.
What?
No prize.
No what?
Prize.
My love.
Your love.
A place you've never been to you'd most like to go?
Well, I've never been to Africa.
Despite all the National Geographic stuff?
No, never been there. I've been asked. I've been to South Africa, and I've been to southern Morocco, but never the bit in between. So I'd like to do that.
First play you saw?
First play I saw, I think it was a musical. I think it was by Julian Slade. And I think it was, or was it My Fair Lady? No, I think it was a musical called Follow That Girl. We used to go, I lived in the Isle of Wight, and Dad used to take us to London for sort of Christmas treats normally, and we'd go and see a musical. And I think My Fair Lady or Follow That Girl was...
Secret talent?
My secret talent, well, I'm very, very good on a comb with toilet paper. I can do good sounds with it.
You know, we could bring back My Fair Lady and you could star.
I'd love to. As I said,
sing it.
I don't have regret. Well, I've done it. I recorded it with Kiri Te Kanawa, which I think you can find online, with a wonderful cast. Warren Mitchell, John Gielgud, Kiri Te Kanawa, and me. We recorded it with the London Philharmonic, I think.
Why can't a woman?
Why can't a woman be more like a man? Yeah, so that's out there. I would have loved to have done that show. I think I'm too old now, you know. He should be about 35.
Really?
Well, he should be. Rex played him older, but...
What frightened you the most?
Not challenging, not being challenged.
A character you most enjoyed playing?
Oh, I loved playing Richard II when I played him on stage. I loved playing, what's his name in The Real Thing in the Tom Stoppard play.
Oh,
Henry.
Yeah. That's a good play.
With Glenn Close, yeah.
Historic figure you wish you'd met?
Well, I'd miss a historic figure. I'd like to talk seriously to Jesus.
Like, were you the son? Do you think you were the son?
Don't care about that. Just, you know, what are your hopes for the future?
What do you make of what we've done with the planet?
Yeah.
What talent do you most envy in others?
I'd love to be able to play piano. I play a little bit, but not well. I think mimicry. I'd love to be a good mimic. Kevin Spacey, for example, fantastic mimic.
Bobby Darin, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who would you trade places with for a day?
Hillary.
What makes you cry?
Something that just gets to me, and it can be other people. Truth. It's truth, true emotion.
You believe in extraterrestrial life?
I believe there is more twixt heaven and earth than is dreamt of in our philosophies.
And finally, if you could go back in time and give advice to your teenage self, what would you say to you?
Take a little bit more care of your friend.
Okay, Nikolai, who is your childhood celebrity crush?
Oh, that was Agneta from ABBA. The blonde girl from ABBA.
Oh, yeah.
The pop band, yeah. That was
Biggest risk you ever took?
The biggest risk I ever took? I don't know. I guess acting.
Favorite part about being in America? Do you have a home here?
I don't have a home here, no.
What do you like about being here?
I love the energy, and I love the people, yeah.
Place we'd find you on a day off?
In the forest, in the mountain, on a mountain bike.
You know, they're dangerous, though.
I love it, yeah.
Person you'd like to switch places with for a day?
Just for a day? I'd like to go to one of the astronauts in the space station, just to get up there and have a look down. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Strangest job you've ever had?
I spent a summer cleaning a sawmill as a young man. It was the filthiest thing I've ever done.
Best piece of advice you ever received?
Don't take advice.
You don't take worst or bad?
No, but that was the best piece of advice. Don't take advice.
Longest period of time you've been awake? Well, I was thinking about it. You know, I was thinking of it. Remember mine because I did an all-night radio show and I did television during the day, and I think it was 24 hours.
Wow. Well, I think, yeah, well, we talked about Iceland, and I think that...
where it's dark or light all the time.
Yeah, and I shot there when I was in '97, and we had it was the same thing, 24-hour. But we just kept shooting. It was a low-budget movie we had to finish in. But you go crazy in the end, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. Person from history you'd like to take to lunch?
There's a few. Well, the obvious ones are the ones that did... Oh, Da Vinci.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Role you regret turning down?
I don't have any.
Really?
No.
There wasn't something you said no, and then you saw it on the screen and said, why did I not take that?
No. I usually don't go watch that, the stuff I turned down.
What's something we should all be paying more attention to?
I think we are now. I just the notion of just don't judge other people. You know, the whole thing of them and us. Let's just don't judge.
Are you having difficulty with our presidency?
No, not the presidency. Maybe the guy sitting in the chair. But
I should have said that better. Luxury you can't live without?
Chocolate.
Most difficult Game of Thrones scene to shoot?
Well, the most difficult physically was for this two episodes ago. I had to fall into this river, and we shot in this tank in Belfast, and it was a whole day of just falling through the water in this armor, and it was absolutely disgusting.
How do they choose where they're going to go? Like, why were they in Belfast?
Well, Belfast, Northern Ireland is amazing. They have so many different locations, and it's easy to get around. It's it's a small town. You don't waste too much time in traffic. They have studios, and they have an amazing tax break, of course. Spain, they have beautiful castles, great tax break. Iceland's just expensive, but they have ice. And Croatia has them. Dubrovnik is beautiful.
Where's the base?
That's Belfast. That's where we have.
That's where the interiors are shot?
Yeah.
So the cast is there throughout the shooting?
Yeah. We have, like, up until now, we've had 2 full-size units shooting at the same time. So one called Dragon, the other one's called Wolf, and usually one of them will be in Spain and the other one will be in Belfast.
Do you like the people of Northern Ireland?
Yeah, they're great.
Do they still have it in for the British?
Oh, yeah, but that's...
That ain't gonna end.
That's not
You characterize yourself as being Palinized. What do you mean?
Well, you look at Sarah Palin and Congresswoman, Michelle Bachmann. They are relentlessly, torn down by the liberal media. I mean, they're wonderful women. They're intelligent. They're great mothers. They're brilliant. And yet there is this double standard that conservative women are fair game to be attacked, and it's not right, and it needs to stop.
Doesn't the conservative media tear down liberal politicians?
Not to the extent that liberals do to conservative women. I think that they get away with it. If you look at Keith Olbermann, for instance, I talk about it in my book. Some of the things that he says on his show about conservatives, if Sean Hannity or if Bill O'Reilly said anything like that about a liberal woman like Sonia Sotomayor or Michelle Obama, he would be off the air. And there's this double standard, and Americans are now exposed to it.
You sued the pageant after they fired you. They countersued, and then you accused them of a number of things, including religious discrimination. Clearly an issue very important to you. Why did you settle? You don't have to tell me the terms of the settlement, but why settle since you had a fight to carry on?
Larry, everything that was discussed in mediation, I'll say it again, is completely confidential. I'm not going to be able to talk about that. So I'm just letting you know that ahead of time.
So you can't even say why you settled? That's not. How does that break what you settled for? I'm not asking you what the settlement was.
Confidential
I'm asking you
agreement.
Why did you agree to settle?
It's a confidential agreement, and I am not allowed to talk about that.
So the agreement discusses the motive behind why each party agreed?
Larry, you're being inappropriate. You really are. So I'm not going to talk about...
I'm asking a question.
I'm not going to talk about anything that was discussed in mediation. It's completely confidential, and it was a confidential settlement.
All I'm asking... So, all right. So what you're saying is, in mediation, it was discussed why you were mediating.
Larry, it's completely confidential, and you're being inappropriate.
Okay.
Okay? So
all right.
You're being
Inappropriate King Live continues.
Yes.
Detroit, hello.
Hi, I'm calling from Detroit.
Yes.
I'm a gay man, and I love pageants. I'm sure that you, Carrie, have got, great gay friends that helped you possibly win. What would you give them as advice if they wanted to get married?
Did you hear the question, Carrie? Did you hear the question? Is she leaving because I asked what motivated the settlement?
Excuse me?
Did you hear the question?
No, I can't hear you.
You took the mic off, and you put the mic on, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think that you are being extremely inappropriate right now, and I'm about to leave your show.
So I went to another area. I took a phone call. They asked a question of you. I left that subject. You feel it was inappropriate? I didn't mean to be inappropriate. I just thought it was a logical question. But you need to have a mic. Who are you talking to? Hello? We'll be back right after these messages on Larry King Live.
What I really want to say is I want to thank you for this opportunity. Basically, I had come here to talk about things in the press that aren't accurate about me. But I have a tremendous amount of love and respect for the West family, and they've asked me not to go on. And I've said from the very beginning, I don't have a side in this. They are my side. And so I'm going to respect their wishes. And I'm going to apologize to you because I think I'm taking up your airtime. But I will not be on the show and I will not discuss any of that. I'm going to honor their wishes, okay?
Meaning you won't answer any questions about
None.
anything?
None.
All right, then how will you ever answer questions? I mean, where does this go?
Well, I will talk with
mentioning
them.
Mrs. West.
I will talk with them when they're comfortable then I'll be comfortable. If they're never comfortable, then I'll never be comfortable. They are what's important to me. I said that from the start, and that's what I'll continue to honor.
Then just a few things having nothing to do with them. Don't you want to speak out?
No.
You don't want to?
No. I do not.
All right, but you came here to speak out.
That's correct. But I'm going to honor their wishes.
Okay, we'll bring our panel back and take a break, and we'll be right back. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, want to reassemble L.A. and... Thanks, Jan. I'm going to bring in... I'll keep the panel. I'll bring in Sanjay at 40.
In Mission, right next to the UN building in New York, where last week all of the nations of the world combined for the opening of the UN. Our special guest tonight is brother leader Muammar Gaddafi, the leader of the nation of Libya. What you used to be called Colonel. What changed from Colonel to brother leader?
يعني هي العقيدة رتبة عسكرية لكن أنا قائد الثورة يعني ومش حتى قائد ليبيا مثل ما حضرتك ذكرت أنا قائد الثورة.
Colonel is the military rank. I am actually a leader of the revolution. It's not like what you said that I'm a leader of Libya. I'm a leader of a revolution.
Not change.
This your first visit to this country?
Yes, it is.
What are your first impressions?
Into back seat.
Nothing, because we circled with security and we saw nothing.
You didn't get to see much?
No. I did see nothing.
What did you think of the UN?
أظنك سمعت العالم كله سمع كلامي أمس بخصوص UN.
I made a speech yesterday regarding the UN, and I believe that the whole world has listened to the speech or heard the speech.
And there was quite a reaction to that speech, as you probably heard today, and much criticism in the United States about the speech. Do you have any regrets?
لا ما اهتمتش أنا الحقيقة بالردود الفعل أنا قلت الشيء المقتنع به.
I said what I'm convinced, and I didn't really bother that much about the reactions.
والذي سيأخذ الطريقة العملية من خلال الجمعية العامة المتحدة تصوت عليه.
And what I said will be put for vote in the General Assembly.
Were you interpreted fairly?
لا الحقيقة أنا أشك في الترجمة إن هي يعني perfect.
I doubt if it's been fully interpreted or that it is a perfect interpretation.
لأني نتكلم بسرعة وأحيانا باللهجة الليبية.
Because I was speaking fast and sometimes I'm using the Libyan dialect.
وأحيانا نتكلم بغضب.
And sometimes I speak with anger.
نضرب الطاولة مرات.
Banging the table.
مرات نشرك الميثاق بتاع الأمم المتحدة.
Or tearing and throwing away the UN Charter.
مرات نلوح ورقة على أمين اللجنة شو اسمه أمين رئيس
الجمعية
العامة أو الأمين العام.
I threw even papers at the President of the General Assembly and the UN Secretary General.
And the British Prime Minister Gordon Brown took great exception to that. Why did you tear up the UN Charter?
لأنه ما عادش يسوي شيء مش محترم يعني.
Because it's not respected. It's worthless.
يعني هم يعني أبطلوا مفعوله.
They made it null.
بعد ما يستحقش التشريك والتلويح في الكنيسة.
So it deserves to be thrown out and deserves to be put in the dustbin.
But you are a member nation and you came to address the body. Why treat it with disrespect?
أنا جاي عشان نثبت هذه الحقيقة.
I'm here to prove this fact.
أنا إلى جانب الأمم المتحدة.
I support the United Nations.
لكن التصرفات اللي تجري من عام 45 لعند الآن.
But the behaviors or the practices that took place ever since 1945 up to date.
كلها عدم احترام للميثاق.
All of it is disrespect to the UN Charter.
But still you addressed them and still you came, right? And you say you respect the UN. How can you respect it and tear up the Charter?
أنا نحترم الأمم المتحدة ولكن هم ما احترموش الميثاق.
I respect the UN, but they did not respect the Charter.
الجمعية العامة موجودة.
The General Assembly is there, and I believe it is the United Nations.
لكن الميثاق أصبح لا شيء يعني.
But the charter has become nothing, insignificant.
How do you think you were received?
Where?
Where?
At the UN.
As you saw yesterday and here. Good, good reception.
Good reception, the leader said.
You thought you had a good reception?
Yes.
Let's talk about something very, very, very important. You did not mention it in the speech, but the crash of Pan Am 103 over Lockerbie. The only person convicted was Mr. El Magrai. He was kicking with Larry King, one of my favorite people of all time is Donald Trump. We go back a long, long way. If I have to tell you who he is, you have a major problem. Let's go right into it. We're at, by the way, at Trump Tower, on the top of his building, overlooking his city. Everywhere you look, Trump, and lots of things to talk about because he's made some amazing acquisitions, one of which I'm kind of personally involved with. I'll get to that later. Okay, the government shut down. What's your take?
Well, it's a mess, Larry. I mean, the whole country is being scoffed at and laughed at, and we're not doing well as a country, as you know. We will no longer be the great economic power in 2016. As you know, China will be replacing us if we keep going the way we're going, which looks like inevitable. We're a different place than you and I remember when we've done all our interviews that I cherish and that I saved. I don't save too many, but I always save being interviewed by Larry King. And we're not the same country.
Well, it's one thing I don't understand. I know you're a great critic of the president, but let's a fact be a fact. We passed a health care law.
Right.
The Supreme Court upheld it.
Right.
And the Republicans don't want to fund it.
Well, it's a law that really has turned out to be, that's true.
Still a law.
It's still, you're right, Larry, and I understand where you're coming from, but it is something that's turning out to be very negative. It's having a huge negative impact on business.
So
you look at what's
repeal it.
happening, and I guess that's what is going to happen one way or the other. I don't see this getting them to the end, but I fully understand what the Republicans are doing. And I actually respect them for it.
Do you agree with the Wall
for
Street
it.
Journal? It's a major mistake.
Well, a lot of people
shut
say
down
it's a
the
mistake.
government.
Well, let's see how it happens. Lots of strange things happen, Larry. I mean, let's see what happens in the end. But they are very committed to killing Obamacare. Obamacare is a very... Look, I have friends that have, without going into deep anything or deep studies, and we can do that too when it's not turning out too good for Obamacare. But I have friends that have businesses. They're hiring only part-time people now. Okay? Only part-time people because they get out of obligations by doing that. I have friends that are closing down businesses because of Obamacare. I mean, Obamacare is turning out to be a disaster. So people see this. Some people thought it when it was passed, and
A lot
some
of
people
it is
see
good,
it
though.
now.
You got it. Don't we need some sort of health law?
Well, I think you do
My
need
God.
something, and you need something good. I think you can actually have something much better than Obamacare and for a lot less money. You know, other countries, we don't have great health care in this country, and yet we spend 2 and 3 times more than other countries.
We've never had a national health plan.
We've never had good health care in this country, frankly. But, you know, we're spending the most money by far, and we don't have the best health care. So that's not so good.
But it's not so good to shut down the government. Come on.
Well, they're shutting it down. Let's see what happens, Larry. It's going to be interesting. Hey, I'm watching just like you. I do respect the fact that they are very committed to it. They're taking a lot of heat. We'll see what happens.
But everybody's committed. Obama's committed to Obamacare. If you like commitment, he's committed.
You would certainly think that he's not going to end it, and that's what they want.
No.
So it's a very tough situation for the country, and it's somewhat embarrassing for the country.
On both parties.
On both sides, yeah. Whether it's Republican or Democratic, I mean, it's not a good
How
situation.
long do you think this is going to last?
Well, I said it was going to happen. Most people said it would never happen. I've been predicting it was going to happen, but it has happened before. You know, on numerous occasions, many occasions it's happened. So this isn't the first time. But I made a prediction a few weeks ago, and everyone said, no way would they ever let the shutdown happen, and it has happened. I think it could go on for a while. I mean, some people, you have a bigger thing coming along. You have the debt ceiling coming, and that almost is going to blend in.
You can't let that go viral.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how long this lasts, because in a couple of weeks, that's
Reagan,
right.
your hero, increased it 14 times.
That's right. He increased the debt ceiling. But Obama, your hero, voted
Not my
against
hero. I like
increasing.
him.
I know that. Voted against increasing. You know, when he was a senator, he voted against increasing the debt ceiling. A lot of people don't know that, but
he wants to increase it now.
President
and that's what
Obama, hey,
counts.
look, he's in there pitching. Everybody's pitching. They're pitching for whatever they believe. But, Larry, President Obama voted against increasing the debt ceiling. You know that, right?
When he was a senator.
When he was a senator.
But now he wants to do it.
Yeah, but now
so.
he's saying, how can you possibly do this?
Well, a lot
it's a
of
little
people
bit
change
double-sided.
when they get into office.
Well, he was in office. He was a senator.
He voted against war, but he sends out missiles, right?
He voted against war and he got the Peace Prize. It's a whole strange thing going on, isn't it, huh?
But we're out of Iraq, which you were a strong critic of George Bush. So
I was a strong critic. Look, I'm a Republican, but I was a very strong critic of George Bush, absolutely. And I think Iraq was a disaster, and it's proved to be a disaster. It's in total turmoil now. Iran is going to take it over. They have this tremendous, I took a lot of heat. I said, in the old days, you fought a war, and to the victor belong the spoils, right? Well, we fought a war in Iraq, and what happened, Larry? What happened to us? We got nothing. I said, take the oil. People said, oh, that's so terrible to say take the oil. So now who's going to get the oil? Russia's getting the oil, China's getting the oil, and Iran is getting the oil. And we spent $1.5 trillion and thousands of lives. Now, how stupid are we?
You're a very confident person.
I am.
Have you ever said to yourself, in that thing I was wrong? I shouldn't. Maybe I went too far on the Obama birth thing. Maybe I don't think so. No. Did you ever say I was mistaken?
Well, I don't like to say that. I do like to learn. You always look. Everybody makes mistakes. You have to learn from your mistake. If you don't learn from your mistake, then you're a stupid person. But I do like learning from things that maybe I would have done a different way. A lot of times you're not really wrong. Wrong is a hard word because you could be sort of right or sort of a little bit wrong, but you have to learn from whatever it is you're talking about.
Did you learn from your wrongness, from your mistakes?
I think over the years, it's called experience. I think over the years you learn from experience, Larry.
I'm talking with the one and only Donald Trump, and we'll be right back.
What's happening, baby? Okay. Can I tell you something? You made the right choice. You are leaving this place. You know what you are? You're the last guy out of a burning building, my friend.
John.
You are.
Stop.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we on
We're
CNN?
on now, yeah.
Oh, I thought this was like the pre-show banter.
No, we're on.
Oh,
okay.
Listen, you're really leaving this place with a great infrastructure, and I think you've done I think it's done a wonderful.
Thank you, John.
You're a real Parker Spitzer.
First get to.
Wouldn't it be nice to not have so much fantasism? Wouldn't it be nice if conflict and the false urgency of the 24-hour news networks, of which you very wisely have decided to walk away from. By the way, I think they've made a brilliant choice by bringing in a British guy no one's heard of. I think that is, when I'm thinking about floating a sinking ship, what do I want to bring on it? But a guy that people are going to tune in and go, who's that? And why is he speaking so funny?
All right, back just a little more morality, then we'll cover other things.
Yeah.
We have several tweets to King's Things.
See, this is a problem.
Twitter.
News people shouldn't be going, we've got some tweets. It's like you walked out in the middle of this and said, I was in the bathroom and a guy mentioned to me,
Well, these are human beings and they're tweeting us. Do you have no respect for them?
No.
Oh,
okay. I don't know who they are. They could be anybody. They could be pretending to be who the hell knows who they are.
Here's where they are.
All right.
They're asking this. What you thought about CNN, firing Rick Sanchez after he called you a bigot.
Now, was that 140 characters? Because that sounded like a lot more than 140 characters. It sounded like somebody sent you a double or a triple tweet.
It may have been a double tweet.
How can we tell? We're on a news program and you're saying to me, so there's a tweet.
Okay.
Couldn't you have thought of that? But isn't that a question you probably could have thought of yourself?
I would have asked, but we'd like to involve the audience. It's a gimmick.
All right.
Okay. Well, what do you think?
Should they have fired him for that? No.
No, you think they made a mistake?
Oh, with the crap you guys have put on over the last 10 years? What, are you kidding me? Fire somebody if you don't think they're doing a good job as a news person. This whole idea that people, they fired a woman for tweeting something on her thing, on her blog. They fired Sanchez for saying what he said. I think it's absolute insanity. I think that this idea that people have to be held to account for everything that comes out of their mouths as far as their livelihoods are concerned. Does he do a good job? Were you pleased with his job, or was it an excuse to get rid of him in a manner?
What did you think of the job he was doing?
He's a ham. I mean, I wasn't crazy about the show. Do you think I want to see a newsman get tased and then get into a car and drive it into a river and be like, this is how you get out? What? What are you doing? But
were you not hurt by him calling you that? Personally hurt?
No, I was not personally hurt by him calling me a bigot. I make jokes about people for a living. If that's the least, you should hear what people call me when I'm walking home. You have no idea the vitriol that comes my way on a daily basis. Bigot. I almost wanted to hug him and go, really, you think? That
Why?
nice?
Frankly, I'll show you openly. Why do you pick on...
you know, and again, you know, the idea that they would have fired him for calling me a bigot. I wish I, you know, I think if that's the reason, hire him back tomorrow. Because you know, my feeling is when he said, you know, there was the thought that he had said that Jews control the media and that maybe that would have ruffled some feathers, that they felt like that was... But
maybe that was the reason.
Okay, but even that, I'm sorry, that is a nasty thing to say. I don't think he actually means that, but I don't think that's a fireable offense. Okay. I think, unless it's, you know, yeah, if you criticize your bosses sometimes, but even that.
Why do you pick on CNN so much?
You're terrible.
Why are you here?
I like you.
You set me apart from the network I work at.
You're all people. It's not that, you know, the reason why I picked, I didn't drive Crossfire. Okay. Again, you know, I became an easy excuse for people up top who wanted to get rid of a show that was sort of low-ranked to do that. Believe me, if I had that kind of power in the world, we'd live in a much different world. You know, cancer would be ice cream. The idea that CNN has this infrastructure, they have all this international reach, they have all this technology, and it sometimes feels squandered. That's all. Squandered opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
What do you make of Fox?
I think brilliantly authoritative. They know what they're doing. People would take well to heed how tenacious they are, how bold they are. They express editorial authority. I think they're wrong, but I appreciate that they're trying. And, you know, I don't think it's a right and left thing. I don't think that's what's going to be important. I think CNN has an opportunity to be a real arbiter. But being a real arbiter means taking a stand, not just having people on, you're on the, you know, you're on the left, you're on the right. That's like having people on in the Cola Wars. You're from Pepsi, you're from Coke. What do you think? I think we taste great. I think we taste great. That's all the time we have. Both terrific points of view. You know, it's about being authoritative, about earning credibility. And CNN, more than anybody, has the infrastructure to be able to accomplish that. And instead, they make a holographic Jessica Yellen, and they just make her come up as a holograph on election night. Do you remember that?
Yeah, once they did that.
Well.
But Fox, you think they're fair and honest in reporting?
What? No. God, no.
But that's their motto.
What? That's their motto?
Yes.
Well, that's a complete lie.
Okay.
No, I think they're tenacious. I think they are confident, and they are showing the model of how to build an organization that believes in something. I think what they believe, I think it is wrong-headed for a news organization. I think they've built an incredible political organization, really effective political organization.
So it's a political organization.
Yes, that's right.
Parker Spitzer.
But you could do it with a thing, but instead you have to throw it at Parker Spitzer.
Parker Spitzer airs at 8 p.m. Eastern. Right now, before this show, take a look at what Kathleen and Elliot discussed today, and then Jon Stewart and I.
Then they had a Danish.
We'll be right back. He has a big fan who wishes...
Coop! Coop! What's up, Coop? Coop!
Hey, how's it going?
Can I tell you something? Anderson Cooper does a hell of a job on this network. He's your chance.
Really? Wow.
You got to turn this baby over to him.
Turn it over to him.
You got to turn this baby over to him.
24 hours.
Yeah. Him
23 hours. Let me do an hour more.
What do you think? Who do you think they're going to replace? What country do you think the guy's going to come from to replace him? What do you think they're going to grab a guy? We got a Romanian that does a column. I'm telling you, AC throws down, baby. You've been doing a great job. I've been watching.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good Romanian columnists out there, though.
See?
Well,
balance.
I don't know. Larry, and this new NAACP report on the Tea Party, is it fair? We're going to take a look at the group who actually did the study and look at what their agenda may be. Those stories a lot more, Larry, at the top of the hour.
That's 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
By the way, I can answer that last one for him. The NAACP report on the Tea Party? Yeah, not fair.
Not fair.
Yeah, that's my guess.
You know that.
Yeah, it's just a guess.
You said something before we go to break.
They're not going to mess with Cooper, by the way. When he wants questions answered, he gets them answered. They're not going to arrest him. You know why?
Why?
Because he brings the boys with him. AC and 360.
Okay. You said to me before that if you ran this network, you would not have pundits, you would have analysts. What's the difference between a pundit and an analyst?
Well, a pundit has a particular agenda that's typically more partisan in nature. They're working
You want fairness.
Guys, well, not fairness. I just want people that can help squeeze through all the crap,
Don't
the
you think
fog.
David Gergen does a good job?
Gergen's kind of good.
Thanks. He's very good.
Yeah, but he sits in a room with 18 other people. Have you ever seen when they do with David Gergen on election night? You're literally looking at, like, what is this, the cafeteria at the YMCA? Like, you look down there, there's 800 people in the room. They're just like, let's talk to this guy. He's from Crazy People United. And by the time they get to Gergen, you're like, my eyes are bleeding. Like, I'm coughing up. I don't know what to do. And Gergen will say something that sounds sort of reasonable, but at that point, you know.
Good point.
You're peeing in the ocean. Why did I have to ruin everything? Everything was going so well, and I had to go blue. Why did I have to go blue? I shouldn't have gone blue.
It's your nature.